Today I'm going to be splitting skills into AFK methods. Some are truly walk away from your keyboard AFK, and some will be a little bit AFK but not so much. There's definitely something for everyone in this game. Whether you want it to be open on the other monitor and you're hardly playing, or you want to be a little bit more active but not fully active. Starting with methods where you can actually leave for several minutes. This tier matters if you're doing something like working while playing OSRS, or watching a film, or just on your phone. One of the most AFK pieces of content in the game is AFK salvaging. You're going to need 15 sailing to start on small shipwrecks, all the way up to merchant shipwrecks at 87. You park your boat in between the two shipwreck spawns, deploy your hook, assign your crewmate to man the second hook, and then just let it run. This becomes even more AFK if you set up two crewmates. You put them on both the hooks, and then you can do nothing until your cargo is full. You can AFK for a very long time compared to a lot of things in the game. As long as your cargo hold doesn't fill up, your crewmates will still salvage. You're only going to need to interact every now and then to make sure everything keeps running. The experience scales as you move through the higher tiers, with merchant shipwrecks being among the best low intensity sailing trading method in the game. If your sailing is very low and you don't really want to train the skill, then you can do this. Next is the Gemstone Crab. If you want AFK combat gains without engaging with Slayer or bossing, this is where you go. It's located in Valor, and it's unlocked after Children of the Sun. The easiest access is the Pendant of 80s. You teleport to Kastori and it's a short run. Otherwise you can take the bird Renu and then run. The crab stays alive for exactly 10 minutes regardless of how much damage is done, so it doesn't matter how many players are hitting it. Once it disappears, you crawl through the cave, and then it's on to the next spawn location and you repeat. You can train any combat style here, so it's also decent if you want to train ranged or magic, but of course these come with a cost. Bring spec weapons and strength potions if you want to squeeze some more extra XP, and then prayer potions if you're going to use piety. The XP rates aren't crazy good per hour, but it's very good AFK time. If your goal is to actually get combat levels up, Slayer is still better, and so is the Nightmare Zone if I'm honest, because you're going to potentially need Nightmare Zone points for other things. That's also another one to look into. It's pretty much the same thing. You're AFK for 10 minutes and you've got to reset. They're both pretty similar, but actually Nightmare Zone will get you some points. And these points can do things like imbue your jewelry, imbue your Slayer helm, and get you other extra items that you might need. If you literally can't pay any attention for the next few hours and you want some combat XP, this is where you go. Shooting stars is a classic mining AFK method. The stars fall randomly around Gillinor, but then what's nice is you don't have to go to a new star straight away. After one of the layers go, you just need to click again and it's another 5 to 7 minutes of AFK time. A single high tier star can last a long time, with only a handful of clicks the entire time, which means one star can be your entire lunch break of mining XP. There's loads of ways to find out where stars are in the game. There's discords and websites, so just take your pick. The XP rates are really not good though. They typically sit around the mid 20s to low 30,000 per hour, depending on your mining level and how efficiently you're finding the stars. It's not the fastest mining method in the game, but the amount of AFK time is elite. After a while you're going to have a lot of stardust. With this stardust you can buy the Celestial Ring. This gives you a +4 invisible mining boost, and then after that I used mine to upgrade my Prospector outfit. There never used to be much to firemaking, but now we have Forester's bonfires. Light a single log, then add logs to it to turn it into a campfire. Your character will then add logs at a slow pace. Obviously this is going to be a lot slower than doing it actively, but you get around 2.5 minutes of AFK time, which is a good method when you really don't want to pay much attention. We also have Wintertodt now, which hasn't got as much AFK time, but it's very community driven there and it's a lot of fun. But bonfires is really where it's at for AFK time. And this is a great pairing with woodcutting. Say you're somewhere like Camelot doing forestry. You can be cutting down yews and there's always a bonfire nearby. So you can cut down a full inventory and then you can do some AFK firemaking. When it comes to woodcutting, AFK really depends on the tier of tree you're cutting. Trees now remain available for a fixed amount of time after the first successful log is cut, and the timer increases as you go up in tier. Yews stay available for a few minutes after they've started to be chopped, and redwoods stay available for several minutes, making them one of the best AFK woodcutting methods in the game. If I'm honest, until you get to redwoods, forestry worlds are the move. You get a +1 woodcutting bonus per player chopping the same tree, but this is capped at +10. So finding a busy world, the most popular one is world 444, go to a hotspot and start cutting away. and there's always people chatting away on forestry worlds as well, which can be nice. You could also use the woodcutting guild once you're past 60 woodcutting, but there's no forestry events and no player bonus. But you get an invisible +7 woodcutting boost, and the bank chest is so close. Realistically, redwoods are going to be the best for AFK time, but it takes a while to be able to do them. If you want to enter the giveaway for a chance at a bond, make sure to sub to the channel, like this video, and comment down below your favourite AFK method in the game. For the next few, you're going to be clicking quite often, but it doesn't involve much thinking. You can do these while you're watching something, on the phone, at work, because most of them are a pattern and the cycle is identical. A classic is fishing Karam ones with a fish barrel. To do this, you're going to need 65 fishing, and you're going to need to complete Thai Boy One Eye Trio. The closest way to get there is Fairy Ring Code DKP. This puts you very close to the spot. The reason this is so good is the fishing spot never moves. It's literally locked in place forever. Make sure you have a fish barrel, click the spot, and you can AFK for an entire inventory. But I would say before you come here, try to get the fish barrel from Temporos. This is going to allow way more AFK time and you're going to make more money per hour. Fletching is a classic bank standing skill. With something like longbows, you just withdraw some logs, use a knife on the log, make the bows, wait about a minute and then continue the cycle. Of course your level dictates which longbow you can make. You can make yew longbows at 70 fletching, and then magic longbows at 80. The fletching knife from the Veiled Totems speeds up the process but reduces AFK time. The trade-off is better XP per hour, but you're clicking more often. When it comes to crafting, cutting gems is one of the most AFK ways to train the skill, especially through the mid-game. Cut sapphires at 20, emeralds at 27, rubies at 34, diamonds at 43, and then the big one, dragonstones at 55. Diamonds are usually the cheapest option per XP. Of course, dragonstones give more XP, but then they of course cost more. At 63 crafting, you can switch to dragonhide bodies for a significant jump in XP. Green, blue, red, and black. I would say though you have a lot less AFK time with this method. Smithing cannibals at Edgeville or Prifdinus. The XP doing this is incredibly slow, but they're one of the most AFK smithing methods in the game. You get roughly 40 seconds per inventory, and there's literally no thinking required. The one thing that you need before you start doing this is the double ammo mold from the Giant's Foundry. This doubles your output per smelt. Without it, it's probably not worth doing. The Edgeville furnace is the closest one to a bank, but Prifdinus is comparable once you've done some of the elves. Alternatively, you can do dart tips at an anvil, but to do this you need to complete the tourist trap, but it's around 80 seconds of AFK time per inventory. Cooking is one of the simplest skills in the game. Withdraw food from a bank, click cook on a range or a fire, wait, bank, and repeat. The Hosidius kitchen is great. Being in here reduces your burn rate, and it's pretty close to a bank. Karam ones are often a better food to cook because they frequently turn into profit, although that obviously depends on the current prices. At 99 cooking, you stop burning Karam ones. The next few aren't actually AFK methods. They're just things that take a few minutes of your day and they print XP and GP, pretty much passively while you're doing literally anything else in the game. Tree runs are the single best XP for the effort that you have to put in. One tree run per day gives you massive farming XP because each XP drop from a tree is huge. You can plant regular trees, fruit trees, and also special trees. Each run takes around 10 to 15 minutes if you're doing it with your herb runs. There's regular tree patches in Falador, Lumbridge, Tavali, and the Gnome Stronghold. And there's fruit patches at Cathaby, the Tree Gnome Village, Brimhaven, and Letzia. Herb runs are pretty much the exact same idea, but you can do these every 80 minutes. And this is more focused on profit rather than XP. Renards and Snapdragons are your best options. A good cycle would be to do your birdhouse run as well as your herb and tree run. If you have all the patches unlocked, Ultra Compost, Magic Secutors, and all the teleports, herb runs can pull consistent millions of GP per week with pretty much no effort. For birdhouse runs, the cycle is every 50 minutes, and the run itself takes 1 or 2 minutes. To do it, you need to complete Bone Voyage. And this is so you can access Fossil Island. Your hunter level scales with the tier of birdhouse. At the top tier are redwood birdhouses at 90 hunter. These are nice to do as you log on or before you're about to log off. Another one that you should absolutely be doing is Tears of Guthix once a week. This ultra short minigame puts XP into your lowest skill, which over an account's lifetime is hundreds of thousands of XP. None of these are really AFK in a strict sense, but they take a few minutes of your day and they compound insanely over time. For these final ones, they're AFK in a different way than we've been speaking about. They're pretty much the best AFK you can get for the respective skill. For Prayer, you're going to want to use a Gilded Altar in World 330. Load your inventory with noted bones, whichever ones you can afford, Dragon Bones, Superior Dragon Bones, and then head to Rimington in World 330. Click the house portal and use the advertisement board to enter a house with a Gilded Altar, and you need to make sure both burners are lit. Use the bonus on the altar, and your character offers the whole inventory over in about 60 seconds. And then you just leave the portal and unnote your bones at the NPC. You can also speed this up if you wanted to by clicking on the bones and then the altar at a fast pace, but that's just if you get bored of AFKing. One of my favourite thieving methods is thieving from wealthy citizens in Civitas Elefortis. To do this, it requires 50 thieving. Download the Valor house thieving plugin, and then you stand in this spot, wait for an urchin to distract a wealthy citizen. You click on the citizen, and while the citizen is distracted, your character will keep automatically pickpocketing house keys, as well as pouches containing coins. These keys are then used to open up the citizen's house. When you're in their house, you're allowed to thieve from the cabinets and the drawers, and you get a message when they're about to return. I would highly suggest to get the Rogue's outfit. This doubles your GP when you're thieving, and then the Ardone Medium Diary gives you a bigger coin pouch so it doesn't keep capping and you get interrupted. It's probably the most low effort skilling method for thieving. For Slayer, it can be AFK, but it can be even more AFK with goading potions. Multi-combat areas with goading potions are great. This makes it so even non-aggressive NPCs will start to attack you. Just protect from melee and you can stand there and AFK. It's wise to bring something like Proselyte to extend your AFK time. And then things like the Ring of God, the Vow Boots, God Cape and Bone Crusher are all advised, as well as things like the Holy Wrench to extend your prayer. The Venator Bow also works if you have one. This chains targets together, which basically removes the need to re-click between kills. And the new mid-game boss, the Mad Angel, has dropped a new weapon, the Hallowfell. We don't know yet, but this also might be good for Slayer. Herblore is amazing XP, but not greatly AFK. The cycle is roughly 20 to 30 seconds per inventory. The Regent pouch from Mastering Mixology can store 26 secondaries. This lets you make almost double the amount of potions per inventory, effectively doubling your AFK time between banking. Sailing gave us a new construction method, and it's actually pretty good for AFK. Hull parts at any shipwright's workbench near a bank. Deep Fin Point is the best location if you got 67 sailing. With Agility, there's really no AFK methods. The only one, and it's pretty pathetic, is Barbarian Fishing. While you're fishing, this gives you a very small amount of Agility XP. I wouldn't even say this is good enough to be a real method. The truth is, you're never going to max your account by purely AFKing. Some skills sincerely just fight the concept. Agility, Herblore, Runecrafting, they exist to really be trained. But you can definitely stack up some AFK methods along the way. Birdhouse runs, herb runs, Karam ones. With all of these, the gains aren't glamorous, but they're there to be AFK methods. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to enter the Bond giveaway. There's a link in the description if you want to join the Discord community. If you enjoy OSRS in general, then one of these videos on screen might interest you. I hope you're having a good day, and until the next one, peace.